You know, I don't often talk about it, and when I do, I almost downplay the achievement that I actually have done in the past. You know, I built up a following of over 70,000 followers on Instagram. And to some people, that's just a vanity metric. In some ways, I guess it is. But you don't get that level of success unless you first believe in yourself. And I want to show you the fact that the only reason I was able to get to that level was because I had the belief inside of me. I believed in myself before I achieved it. You've heard that phrase before, you must believe before you achieve. It's absolutely true. You don't get that level of success unless you first have the right mentality. You have this level of arrogance almost to know I'm going to achieve it. I'm going to do what I said I'm going to do. I'm going to prove not just to everybody else, but to myself that I can do this. That's what I said to myself. That was what was in my mind when I was growing that following. I knew that I could do it. I had the image in my mind, seeing the numbers, because it wasn't just a vanity metric. To get those people it would have meant that I needed to put in the work and I was willing to go the distance. Not many people will ever achieve something like that. Because again, it's not just the number on social media. That's not the point. It's being able to achieve the goal that you set for yourself, no matter how big it is. Because at one point in my life, before I had even gotten close to that goal seemed so far out of reach. It seemed impossible. When you're starting at zero, just like I did on this channel, it seems impossible to even get to like 10 people, 100 people. Because see, it's not about the number. It's about the fact that you are going to put in the work to get that number. What you put out into the world, you're going to get back tenfold. When you come from that mindset, when you come from that belief, knowing that what you're going to put out into the world is going to come back to you, you start to see things a little differently, because you only want to put out the things that are going to come back at you in the right way. This is what people call karma, right? But it's not that mystical. It's just that as you put things out, things will come back. And so you got to be very cautious of what you're doing. What kind of things do you say to yourself? What kind of things do you say to other people? Because that will come back. So make sure that you're sharing the right kind of energy, the energy that you want to attract. You see? So when I was able to achieve this goal, which took a long time to do, you know, in the beginning, it was almost like, you know, I kind of lost my train of thought here, but what I want to say is, in the beginning, it was so difficult for me because I was coming from the mindset like, I don't know if I can achieve this. I had the goal within my mind that I wanted, but at the same time, it was like, is this going to be possible? But as the followers started to come in, it changed my mindset because I started to see the success. But in order to even get to that point, I first had to believe it was even possible. Otherwise, I wouldn't have even started, right? You need to first imagine it in your mind. You need to visualize what you want to achieve. You see, most people visualize, but they do it in the wrong way. They do it the exact opposite way that they should be doing it. Think about when you're worrying about something. Let's say you're afraid of something's about to happen. So you start thinking about it. You picture it in your mind before it happens. And oftentimes what ends up happening is the very thing that you worried about comes true in reality. You know what's interesting though? Is even though it may not come true, it was your reality. It actually happened for you. You know how I know this? Because when you worry about something, you actually feel it physically within your body, right? You felt that before. You feel that your heart starts racing, your palm starts getting sweaty. How is that possible? It's because when you visualize, when you see something before it's ever happened, it's actually taking place within your body. It's causing a real reaction within you, and that changes how you go out in the world. It's not mystical. What you imagine, what you believe about yourself absolutely dictates what's going to happen out there. So you need to be very cautious of the things that you tell yourself and the things you picture. You need to also be very cautious of the things that you consume. What kind of content are you watching? Is it serving your purpose or not? Or is it taking away from it? The kind of videos that you watch on YouTube. If you're watching this video, then I'm assuming the type of content you watch is probably in line with your goals. You're trying to improve your life. But for other people, that's not the case, right? They're consuming content that's completely opposite of what they should be doing. You want to make sure you're consuming content that's conducive to where you're headed. You see, and this was opposite of what I used to do. When I was young, basically in high school, I used to listen to music, watch movies, watch YouTube videos, everything that was the exact opposite of what I was trying to achieve. Not just in like the feeling of where I was trying to achieve, like say that day or that year. What do I mean? Because I get this could sound a little strange. What I mean is, as I was listening to something, say that day, that was the exact opposite of the state that I was trying to put myself in. So let's say I needed to get kind of like calmed down in the moment so I could maybe take a test or, write an exam, right? Right before it, I'm listening to like pumped up rap music. How do you think I'm gonna feel very like calm in that moment? It's not gonna happen. The exact opposite's true. Let's say I'm trying to go do a workout and right before that I put on music that's very calm. I'm not gonna be in that state, right? But the same thing is true with whatever goal you're trying to achieve on a more macro level. We were talking more micro, very small things. But the macro level also is pretty important, because if you're not focusing on overall your goals and you're seeing like the stuff that you're listening to on a daily basis is not in alignment with where you're trying to get, even if it is good, you're not going to get there. So for example, let's say you're like, my main goal in life right now is to achieve, a certain number of dollars, right? You're trying to achieve this monetary goal. Great. What kind of content are you watching? Fitness content. You're watching fitness content over and over again. How is that going to help you get your goal, right? I'm not saying that you can't listen to that as well, but you need to make sure that what you're putting in is going to help you achieve. So I think I've made my point clear here, right? That's just external forces. That's just the things that you should be consuming. But now, what about the stuff that you're telling yourself? That's really where the beliefs come from. This is what I like to talk about here, is the self-image. I've made a few videos on this in the past because the self-image is one of the most important things that you could ever do to help yourself achieve the goals. And most people completely skip this step because most people don't even realize what the self-image is. The self-image is basically how you see yourself and how you see the world. It's the lens in which you see the world. So think about that. How do you view the world? Are you optimistic? Are you positive, right? You could say that, right? I don't like to use that word sometimes because it's like, oh, just positive thinking. But I mean, like, do you have a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset? Somebody who's very pessimistic and negative has a very negative self-image. They look poorly on themselves. So you got to look at yourself and say, where are you at right now? Are you the type of person who sees himself as someone who can achieve the goals? Do you see yourself as that? Or do you say to yourself immediately when you have the thought that I want to achieve a goal that you go, I can't do it. I don't know, I can't do it. Those kind of thoughts are not going to help you get to your goal, and you know that. So you need to change that. And the best way to do that is through the visualization. You need to see yourself as this person. You need to see yourself as the person who has already achieved the goal. That's why I said in the beginning of this video, it all ties back together. You need to believe it before you can achieve it. In order to believe it, you need to update your self-image. You need to change how you see yourself. Change the beliefs that you have. You need to override these limiting beliefs that are holding you back. It's only then that you'll actually be able to make some progress. This is why you're struggling. If you're struggling right now, I'm telling you, this is the reason. You need to work on your self-image. I want to give you a practical tip right now. If you want this video to help you, you should close your eyes right now and do a visualization. Now, you could do a way longer visualization after, but I want you to close your eyes and just picture this for a moment. Picture the version of you that you want to become. What does he look like? How does he sound? What do his words come out like? What's his tone of voice? Are you looking at me right now or your eyes closed? You need to picture this guy. He's not going to be so clear at first, right? You're going to be seeing just black. Your eyelids are going to be closed. You don't actually see him. That's okay. Feel the emotions that come with it. Feel the emotions of what it would be like to be this guy. Because it's only this guy that can achieve the goals. The version that you are right now cannot achieve the goals. It's only the version that you must become that will. So who is this guy? Take some time, close your eyes, and visualize him. This may seem like a weird practice. It's like, what is this really going to do? I'm wasting my time. I'm telling you, this can absolutely transform your life. When you see yourself as this guy right now, and you visualize either what you want to achieve or maybe some habit that you want to break, and you see yourself as him right now, your actions will be in line with what's necessary to get to the goal. And I started this video talking about the fact that I grew my Instagram following. That's how I was able to achieve that success. I'm telling you, that's how it happened. That's why most people will never achieve something like that. No matter how much they want it, they're not willing to put in the work that's necessary. Especially because the exercise that I'm telling you, this visualization practice, seems pretty strange to most people. What would just closing my eyes and thinking about it doing? I get it. But it's not about thinking about it. It's about feeling it. Emotions will move you. Feel it with enough intensity over and over again through repetition, and you will change the direction of your life. You will achieve the goals that you set for yourself. I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, give it a like, and I'll see you in the next video.